My name is Kyle Cooper. I'm the president of the Chicago Police Board. I'm now calling the board's December 18th public meeting to order. As always, I want to thank CAN TV for covering this meeting. It is being live streamed at cantv.org and on the CAN TV app and televised on CAN TV Channel 27. Along with myself, we have the following board members attending in person this evening. The Vice President of the Police Board, Ms. Claudia Badillo. Board Member Tyler Hall. Board Member Katie Liss. Board Member Arlette Porter.
Happy holidays.
Board Member Andrea Safakis.
Good evening.
Board Member Justin Terry. And Board Member Cynthia Velasquez. Board Member Stephen Block is on the line with us right now. Is there a motion to allow Board Member Block to attend remotely?
Yes, so moved. A second.
All in favor, raise your hands and say aye. Aye. The motion passes. In addition to members of the Chicago Police Board, we also have the following city officials here with us this evening. We have Chief Angel Navales, who is representing Superintendent of Police, Mr. Larry Snelling. We have the Interim Chief Administrator of COPA, Ms. LaKenya White. We have the Deputy Inspector General for Public Safety, Ms. Tabara Richardson. We have the Deputy Chief of the Chicago Police Department's Bureau of Internal Affairs, Officer Tracy Walker, who's representing Chief Timothy Moore. We have the General Counsel to the Superintendent of Police, Mr. Scott Spears. And as always, we have the Police Board's Executive Director, Mr. Max Caproni. We will now proceed to the items on the meeting agenda. Is there a motion to approve the drafts of the minutes of the board's public and closed meetings held on November 20th?
Yes, so moved. I second.
All in favor, raise your hands and say aye. Aye. Seeing all hands raised and hearing all ayes, the motion passes. And as a reminder, I just want to provide the schedule of meetings of the Police Board for 2026. Those meetings have been posted, or those dates for those meetings have been posted on the board's website at chicago.gov/policeboard. And as in years past, the Police Board will continue to meet on the third Thursday of the month, and those meetings will begin at 7:30 at the Chicago Public Safety Headquarters. The next regular public meeting of the Chicago Police Board will be on January 15th, at 7:30 p.m., and that meeting will be held where this meeting is, which is at Chicago Public Safety Headquarters. The next item on the agenda is closed meetings. The Police Board meets in executive session to discuss various matters. Those discussions are closed to the public as authorized by Section 2C1, 4, 11, and 21 of the Illinois Open Meetings Act. Information on matters discussed in the executive sessions is included in the minutes of the meetings posted on the Police Board's website. Is there a motion to close a series of future meetings, close a series of future executive sessions as authorized by those sections of the Open Meetings Act?
Yes, so moved. I second.
All in favor, raise your hands and say aye. Aye. Seeing all hands raised and hearing all ayes, the motion passes. The next item on the agenda is a report on minutes and recordings. Earlier today, the board, as required by the Illinois Open Meetings Act, met and considered minutes and recordings of all past closed meetings to determine whether the need for confidentiality still exists. The board unanimously agreed that it continues to be necessary to keep confidential the recordings of its past closed meetings and portions of the minutes. The board makes available a portion of those closed meeting minutes on its website, and those minutes are included in the meeting booklet that is posted on the board's website in advance of each public meeting. The Open Meetings Act permits public bodies to dispose of the recordings of past closed meetings for 18 months. Is there a motion to approve the disposal of the recordings of closed meetings held from December 21, 2023 through May 16, 2024?
Yes, so moved. I second.
All in favor, raise your hands and say aye. Aye. Hearing all ayes and seeing all hands raised, the motion passes. The next item on the agenda is police disciplinary cases. And there is one police disciplinary case on the agenda for final action this evening. and then I will provide an update on the status of the arbitration litigation. The police board hears cases when the superintendent files charges recommending that sworn officer be discharged from the Chicago Police Department for violating the Chicago Police Department's rules of conduct. The board, as authorized by the Open Meetings Act, has discussed in a closed meeting one police disciplinary case. We will now take final action on that case. Regarding case number 25 PB 3045, is there a motion to find police officer Elmer Carrillo Jr. guilty of testing positive for and using cannabis in violation of the rules governing the conduct of Chicago police officers and to discharge him from the Chicago Police Department?
Yes, so moved. I second.
I will now call on the members of the board for their vote. Board Member Badillo?
Aye.
Board Member Block?
Aye.
Board Member Hall?
Aye.
Board Member Liss?
Aye.
Board Member Porter?
Aye.
Board Member Safakis?
Aye.
Board Member Terry?
Aye.
And Board Member Velasquez?
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. Voting in favor are Board Members Badillo, Block, Hall, Liss, Porter, Safakis, Velasquez, Terry, and myself. The motion passes by a vote of 9-0. Is there a motion to adopt the draft of the written findings and decision that has been reviewed by all members of the board who participated in deciding this case?
Yes, so moved. Second.
All in favor, raise your hands and say aye. Aye. Seeing all hands raised and hearing all ayes, the motion passes. The written findings and decision will be entered as of today's date, sent to the parties, and promptly posted on the police board's website. I now want to take a moment to read from this decision to explain the board's disciplinary action in this case. As the board noted in a prior decision, while medical and recreational use of cannabis is now permitted by Illinois law, CPD's policy of prohibiting cannabis use continues to be justified, and officers who violate this policy are subject to significant discipline, up to, and in this case, including discharge. The board will continue to determine discipline on a case-by-case basis and impose appropriate discipline based on the specific facts and circumstances of each case. In this case, the board finds that the respondent's use of cannabis in 2023, taken together with his lengthy suspension for driving under the influence of alcohol in 2021, indicate a lack of judgment sufficiently serious to warrant removing him from his position as a Chicago police officer. As I said, the full decision will be posted on the board's website, so if anybody wants to read the decision, they can find it there. I will now quickly provide an update on the status of the litigation regarding the arbitrability of police disciplinary cases. On November 26, the Illinois Supreme Court allowed a petition for leave to appeal filed by the Fraternal Order of Police challenging the August 8, 2025 appellate court ruling requiring the arbitration proceedings for the most serious police disciplinary cases to be open to the public. The union and the city will have at least till the end of March to file briefs, with oral argument scheduled to take place after they are filed. It therefore appears that it will be either mid to late 2026 when the Supreme Court actually decides this case. As I've noted previously, this litigation has brought to a standstill consideration of the vast majority of cases in which the recommendation is to either discharge the accused officer from the Chicago Police Department or suspend that officer from the Chicago Police Department for a period of 1 year or more. In fact, as of today, 21 police board discharge cases are currently on hold. These cases include charges of unjustified police shooting, which are 8 cases, domestic violence cases, 5 such cases, excessive force cases, which constitute 2 such cases, and an illegal search case. There can be no police board hearings regarding these cases without the consent of the accused officer, and there will be no arbitration hearings regarding these cases until there is an agreement on an arbitration process that complies with the court decision that the Supreme Court is not likely to issue until, at the earliest, the middle of next year. 3 discharge cases, however, are moving forward at the police board. 2 because the accused Chicago Police Department officer are supervisors and not members of the Fraternal Order of Police, and 1 because the accused officer elected to have the police board decide his case rather than have it decided by arbitration. The police board, as it has done, will continue to monitor this litigation and will keep the public informed and updated with the most up-to-date information as this case progresses through the legal system. Once the Supreme Court issues its decision, we look forward to the Fraternal Order of the Police and the City of Chicago expeditiously working together to finalize an arbitration process. Until then, I will continue to insist, as I do at every meeting, that any police officer facing serious misconduct charges elect to have his or her case heard by the Chicago Police Board. The board has resolved and will continue to resolve cases in an expeditious and fair manner, guided by the facts and the law. The news and police discipline sections of our website, again, chicago.gov/policeboard, will continue to be updated with the most current information. Also, I just want to let everybody in the room know, and those listening at home, that I've been invited to appear on WTTW Chicago Tonight with Nick Bloomberg to discuss police discipline and the pending court case concerning arbitration. That show will air this upcoming Monday at 5:30 p.m., and I encourage anyone interested in this topic to tune in. The next item on the agenda is appeals by disqualified applicants to become Chicago police officers. When a person who applies to become a Chicago police officer is disqualified and removed from the eligibility list due to the results of a background investigation, that person has a right to appeal that decision to the Chicago Police Board. The board, as authorized by the Open Meetings Act, has discussed in a closed meeting several appeals. We will now take final action on those appeals. Is there a motion to affirm the disqualification decision for appeal numbers 25AA15, 20, and 22, reverse the disqualification decision for appeal number 25AA21, and dismiss appeal number 25AA33 because it was filed after the 60-day deadline set by the Municipal Code of Chicago?
Yes, so moved.
I second.
I will now call on the members of the board for their votes. Vice President Padilla?
Aye.
Board Member Block? Aye. Board Member Hall?
Aye.
Board Member Liss?
Aye.
Board Member Porter?
Aye.
Board Member Safakis?
Aye.
Board Member Terry?
Aye.
Board Member Velasquez?
I accept, I dissent from 25AA21.
I also vote in favor of the motion, and the motion passes. The written decisions of these appeals will be entered as of today's date, sent to the parties, and then promptly posted on the police board's website. At this time, I would now like to call on Chief Navales to give the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, as always, it's an honor and a privilege to be here on behalf of Superintendent Snelling. And on behalf of Superintendent Snelling, the Chicago Police Department, we wish everybody a happy and safe holidays. Before I speak about the Chicago Police Department's safety efforts this year, I want to reiterate their Chicago Police Department's response to incidents involving federal immigration authorities. As we have repeatedly stated, in accordance with the Welcoming City Ordinance and Department policy, the Chicago Police Department does not assist federal authorities with any immigration enforcement. CPD will respond to 911 calls that involve potential criminal activity. Though CPD may arrive at the same scene as federal agents conducting immigration enforcement, it does not mean we're assisting federal agents. There are times when immigration enforcement is happening and CPD is on the scene to protect the safety of everyone in the area, including those exercising their First Amendment rights through traffic control and sometimes crowd management. We will always work to keep the peace at these tense and emotional situations and keep them from escalating. Several board meetings ago, I went through the prohibitions for our officers in our policy. Anyone who's interested in reading that policy, it is titled Responding to Incidents Involving Citizenship Status, SO6-1403. I'll repeat that, SO6 1403. It could be found in the city's website under Department Directive. I'll continue. As 2025 comes to a close, the men and women of the Chicago Police Department are continuing to protect our city and hold violent offenders accountable. So far this year, the city is seeing the lowest levels of homicide, shooting incidents, and shooting victims in more than 10 years. Through December 17, 2025, we have 173 fewer homicides, 789 fewer shooting incidents, and 937 fewer shooting victims. Those are lives out there that our folks are protecting. We've also drastically cut the number of carjacking. This is due to the relentless work of our CPD members through strategic deployment, strengthened investigation, specialized task forces, and stronger community trust. Internally, our bureaus work collaboratively to share information and resources that help bring crime down. The Bureau of Patrol, the Bureau of Detectives, the Bureau of Counterterrorism work to address crime patterns that are affecting people throughout our city. A great example of this was through our citywide robbery task force, which conducts on-the-ground missions and long-term investigations into robbery crews. Robberies are now down 36% compared to last year due to this comprehensive and enhanced effort to combat robbery incidents. Another example is the Public Transportation Section Strategic Decision Support Center, or SDSC room, we've launched this year. This room allows officers to monitor and track activity across the transit system in real time. While this room previously existed on a smaller scale, now robbery task force detectives are embedded into this new SDSC room for more efficient and streamlined investigations in our transit system. This year, our detectives continued fighting for justice for the victims and families who have experienced violence. This year so far, the Bureau of Detective has cleared 284 homicide cases, reaching a 71% clearance rate. This is the highest clearance rate in at least a decade and reflects the diligent work of our detectives who leverage technology and forensic science to bring resolution to these cases. The Detective Division has also supported victims through advocacy, ensuring victims are supported through these difficult times. As we work to strengthen public safety, community trust is at the center of our efforts. This year, over 13,900 community engagements have occurred across the city. Over 7,000 of those are documented with attendance for consent decree purposes, and we've engaged over 181,000 people across the city. Our reform efforts are rooted in building this community trust through policies and training, which translates to day-to-day operations. We've also introduced community training observation days to further increase transparency. In the last independent monitoring team report, CPD achieved levels of compliance in about approximately 94% of all original monitorable consent decree paragraphs. Secondary compliance rose above 60%, and operational compliance rose to 23%. Though we saw progress this year, our department also experienced unimaginable loss, the loss of a hero. Officer Crystal Rivera was killed in the line of duty in June. As we grieve, we were shown so much support and love from our community members here in Chicago and across the country. As we head into 2026, we will carry on the mission of Officer Rivera and all 607 fallen CPD officers. This mission is to serve and protect all Chicagoans, and that is exactly what we will continue to do. I also want to give out several thank yous. First of all, I want to thank our city partners and our community partners who have helped tremendously in our efforts. I also want to thank those community members who are law-abiding when nobody else is looking. That helps us as well. And lastly, I want to thank the men and women of the Chicago Police Department. Even though this job has become more complex and more difficult, they continue to do the job, they continue to do it faithfully, and we will continue to support the city of Chicago and everybody in it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Davalos. At this time, I now like to call on Ms. LaKenya White, the Chief Administrator of COPA, to give her report.
Thank you, President Cooper. Good evening to the members of the board, the department, and attendees. Last week, I, along with members of my staff, attended the monthly CCPSA meeting and provided an update on our 2025 goals and the progress we have made. And just for reference, CCPSA is the Community Commission for Public Safety and Accountability. As outlined in the goal-setting process, COPA provides the commission with a self-evaluation each year. We submitted our 2025 self-evaluation earlier this month and look forward to receiving the commission's evaluation in the weeks ahead. These goals were developed in collaboration with the commission. Additionally, we presented our proposed 2026 goals to the commission along with Superintendent Snelling and President Cooper. I want to again thank the commission for its ongoing collaboration throughout this process, and I look forward to advancing our goals in the year ahead. COPA's first 2026 goal is the implementation of disciplinary consistency guidelines. This work aims to strengthen internal consistency in our disciplinary recommendations and increase alignment with BIA on aggravating and mitigating factors. COPA's second goal is the creation of a new community advisory committee. This committee will play an important role in the development and socialization of COPA's policies and procedures. For those present tonight who are interested in joining the committee, please see one of my staff members or me to give your information. COPA's third goal is a joint goal with CPD. This goal recognizes the deficiency surrounding public awareness and understanding of Chicago's accountability system. COPA has taken major steps to address these gaps through extensive community outreach. Yet, we acknowledge that more work is needed. A formal partnership with CPD will allow us to expand these efforts and ensure members of the public have a clear and accurate understanding of the system. Finally, COPA will be advancing our community mediation program. We are looking for certified mediators to facilitate that process. Be on the lookout for more information on how to join us. As we look ahead into the holidays, I just want to wish everyone a safe, happy, and healthy holiday. I know this time of year can look different for everyone, and I hope it brings moments of rest, connection, and peace, and also an optimistic look on the year ahead and the important work we have ahead of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Administrator White. At this time, I now like to call on the Deputy Inspector General for Public Safety, Ms. Tabara Richardson, who will now speak about a report that the City's Office of Inspector General released earlier this week.
Thank you. Hi again, my name is Tabara Richardson. I serve as the Deputy Inspector General for Public Safety with the City of Chicago Office of Inspector General. For those who may not be as familiar with OIG, the Office of Inspector General is an independent, nonpartisan oversight agency with the mission of promoting economy, effectiveness, efficiency, and integrity in the operations of city government. We do that in three general ways. One is by conducting investigations. We also have a transparency initiative where we have public-facing dashboards where you can find information about the city of Chicago and specifically about public safety, to include 7 dashboards regarding the Chicago Police Department and 1 dashboard regarding the Chicago Fire Department. The last way in which we accomplish our mission is by conducting audits and audit-based evaluations and reviews. Our last audit-based evaluation and review was published this past Tuesday, December 16, 2025, in which we looked at the final discipline, its implementation, and record keeping. We also looked at the exercise of options. As we looked at the disciplinary records, the finalized disciplinary records, we found inconsistencies in the city's execution, the actual implementation of finalized discipline, and we saw important gaps in record keeping around disciplinary histories. We looked at the period of time from 2016 to 2021 because we were specifically looking at finalized discipline. In order to get to the point of finalized discipline, there are going to be, if there are allegations of misconduct, and then those allegations have to be investigated, they are reviewed, and sometimes they are grieved. And so by looking at the period of time from 2016 to 2021, it allowed us to look at discipline that had actually been finalized. And when we looked at those records, we found that officers who have been found to have violated department policies during that time period, CPD was not able to produce documentation for over half of finalized reprimands, and over a third of finalized suspensions were not recorded in the city's databases. With regard to finalized discipline for separation, all of those records had been maintained. Additionally, OIG did not find any written guidance from CPD on coding resignations or retirements in lieu of discipline or while the CPD member was under investigation. With regards to the exercise of options, essentially what that means is it is completely within the department's discretion. If the finalized discipline consists of a recommendation of suspension, then if the department agrees and the CPD member chooses to, instead of being suspended for a period of time with unpaid leave, that department member can instead choose to use vacation days, so there wouldn't be any gap in the time that that individual is on the street. And in those specific instances, what we found was that there was no criteria for the maintenance of records pertaining to options. And ultimately, prior to 2019, we were provided with 0 records relating to the exercise of options. And in the remaining of the relevant time period that we looked at, we received records for the use of 5 exercise of options. The use of options can complicate record keeping because if someone never actually takes unpaid days, it causes it to be hard to identify disciplinary suspension on their record, and it can obscure a member's accurate disciplinary history. Ultimately, the gaps and inconsistencies in record keeping does not position us to ensure that discipline is being implemented appropriately, either to members of the public or members of the department. This is problematic when it comes to an effort to foster public trust. It can also endanger the stability and the functioning of the disciplinary system where progressive discipline is supposed to be implemented. So this is the idea that when a department member receives new discipline, that there should be a consideration of the prior discipline received. And when there is not an accurate record of that discipline, that prevents the implementation of progressive discipline. Moreover, comprehensive and accurate disciplinary histories are one of the tools that the department should be using to identify risk management decisions, to identify training needs, and ultimately to implement the requirement under the consent decree as it pertains to an early intervention system. So it is vital that we have comprehensive and accurate disciplinary histories, otherwise the credibility and public trust in the accountability system is threatened. This was a very high-level summary. If you go to igchicago.org and you look at our publications, this will actually be the first publication you'll see. Since it was just published this past Tuesday, what you will be able to see is a summary of the information that I just provided. In addition, you'll be able to see our methodology, our findings, the 11 recommendations that we provided to the Chicago Police Department, the Office of Public Safety Accountability, and the Department of Human Resources. And you will be able to see the written responses of those respective entities exactly as they provided them to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Inspector Richardson, for that helpful summary of the report, and thank you to yourself and the Inspector General for the hard work that went into releasing the report that you issued this past week. I know it's generated a lot of news and attention, and I appreciate you taking some time this month's meeting to explain some of the high-level and key findings from that report. The next item on the agenda is public comments. And before we get to the public comments, I just want to say two quick things. First, I want to thank again Chief Navalis, General Counsel Spears, and everyone at the Chicago Police Department who's worked with community members, many of which are here tonight, like I see you, to proactively work together to catalog, record, and respond to comments that are raised at the monthly police board meetings. A detailed report of this follow-up is now available on the police board's website. Again, chicago.gov/police board. So I want to thank you, Chief Navalis, and your team for putting that together. The next thing I want to do is I want to remind the members who are in the room, or the members of the public who are in the room tonight, and those watching, as Chief White indicated last week, myself, Chief White, and Superintendent Snelling appeared before the CCPSA, which again is the the Community Commission for Public Safety and Accountability. And just to remind everybody here and watching that the CCPSA also has monthly meetings that include a set-aside time for public comments. And I know sometimes members of the public who come to our meetings get frustrated with our ability or inability in some instances to answer the questions posed to us. And so I just wanted to remind you all that there are other forums that may be able to provide you the answers to the questions that you are asking. And so I encourage you to attend those meetings. Information about the CCPSA's meetings are available at ccpsa.chicago.gov. And I would just encourage all of you who come to these meetings and who watch on KNTV to also tune in and attend those meetings as well. With that being said, I now like to call on the members of the public who have signed up to speak. I just want to thank those who attended last month's meeting for really taking to heart and following the rules that we set out. Looking at you, Mr. McCoy, in terms of limiting your comments to 2 minutes. That really is not designed because we want to cut anybody off, but it's because there are lots of members of the public who have important things that they need to say and a limited time and opportunity to do that. And so I want to thank you in advance for your adherence to those rules tonight. I can see that you have brought the people with you that you said you were going to bring as I look at this list. And so with that, I'd like to kick off the public comment section by calling Mr. T.C. McCoy.
Thank you very much. Everybody, I wish you a happy holiday. My name is T.C. McCoy. I did 28 and a half years at the Chicago Police Department for those who are new here. I'm going to speak this night, and I'm going to not come back anymore. And it's very important that I speak tonight because what I got to say is very important. Me and a few of these gentlemen that's behind me went to work every day to die. We didn't go to work to do no work. We did to work to die. When them people called and they said they had a problem, we ran through the door without hesitation. I gave you the idea, since I've been here in July, that this is not no joke. This is some real stuff here. We're here. People have lost their lives because of what happened 30 years ago, 2 days from now. 2 minutes is not going to solve this. You got 2 guys still in the penitentiary on a lie. A Hispanic guy named Ramos, who has been charged and lied on and got 49 years. Another black man who was lied on, and now they tell me he got Alzheimer's, and he got 119 years. 119 years, 109 years. This gentleman, step up. This gentleman right here, they gave him 115 years. And they told me I couldn't get him out of the penitentiary. You go on the west side and you ask them people about me. I'm not bragging. Every day I went to work to die. The President of the United States, Bill Clinton, came and gave me 5 minutes of his time, just me and him talking, because the commander told him we changed that whole district around. You send this guy at me. You send this guy right here at me, Michael Hope. Hold that. And he brought these guys with him, some more clowns. A black woman lost her son because of this travesty of justice.
Thank you, Mr. McCoy. The next individual signed up is Mr. Alan Hood.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I give my time over to Mr. McCoy.
Mr. McCoy, as we talked about it, if Mr. Hood signed up to speak, he's going to be the one who needs to
Just told
speak.
me to speak for him because the lady that got her son killed. Show me the picture of that lady. Who's that lady?
I know, but Mr.
Hold on, I'm just saying this because we're not coming back.
I know, but we talked about this, Mr.
This
McCoy.
lady right here went to school with him. That's
Yep.
the reason he's here. And he don't know this story. She lost her son because Michael Hope and them set it up for her son to be killed.
Mr. McCoy, as we talked about, we can't pass time to each other. You know, so Mr. Hood, if you want to use your 2 minutes, you're free to do so. If not, I will call the next speaker on the list.
Okay, call the next speaker on the list.
Okay. The next speaker is Mr. There's a Robert Rogers. There's no yielding. We talked about this, Mr. McCoy, and so I'm unfortunately
Like
going
I
to have to pass.
Like I said to you before,
Yeah.
this is important. It's not about yielding. Hold on now.
Well, I understand
Hold on
that.
now, and then we're going to walk out of here. To show you I'm not lying, you ask that lady right there in that uniform. She's up in IED. If you don't allow me to talk to you tonight, I'm going to go to Washington, D.C. And when I go to Washington, D.C., and this is not no joke, this is not nothing I'm trying to brag to you. I'm going to Washington, D.C. with all these people, and I'm going to sit in the Oval Office. And when I get through talking to that man in that Oval Office, you better pay attention to what I'm saying.
I appreciate that, Mr. McCoy.
He's going to send the U.S. Attorney from Washington, D.C. in here, and he's going to clear the whole top echelon of the police department. And then I'm going to come here and I'm going to talk for 2 hours, and ain't nobody got to give me their time.
All right,
This is
thank
the
you, Mr.
arrest
McCoy.
report of the man that just killed that lady's son 25 years ago.
Mr.
And
McCoy.
hold on now, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave.
Mr. McCoy,
I'm
we
going to say this
talked
and
about this.
leave.
Okay.
And the man who allowed him to leave is the same man who got indicted in the LaQuan McDonald cover-up. And he was told to let this man walk out of jail, and this man is walking the street right now because he has something he wants to say to all of y'all about the travesty of justice that happened to this officer right here and this officer right here. And you telling me about 2 minutes? You telling me about 2 minutes? Hold on, listen. You telling me
Mr.
about
McCoy.
2 minutes, and I'm talking about some
Mr.
men in
McCoy,
the penitentiary
I
that's
don't
dying.
want this to have to escalate more than it needs to be. We talked about not
No,
being
we're
able to
not
pass 2
talking about
minutes.
it. We're talking about
I'm going to
some
now need to
people's
call.
lives.
I'm going to now need to call the next speaker on the list.
Okay, call him.
The next speaker is Edwin Jackson Jr. We can't do it.
Okay, call him.
I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna move on to someone who is not gonna pass on the time. Miss Cece Edwards is on the list to speak. Miss Jennifer Edwards is on the list to speak tonight. Oh, there's Miss Cece. You're up to speak. Right on time. Yeah, the microphone's right there. Hey, gentlemen, if you could give her a little space, please. Thank you.
Well, good evening, board members and distinguished guests. Just want to say happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year to everyone. But also, I wanted to, from the district that I belong to, is the 6th district, and I did want to say congratulations to Commander Michael Tate. I'm going to miss him terribly. We have been working, even up to this day, we're working on a public safety issue. And he has always been there for us and supported us. And I'm just going to really, it's going to be hard. But we got a new commander, and I'm looking forward to working with him as well. And, you know, make sure that we continue the same collaborations that we have been doing in the past. I'd also like to thank Community Organized to Win, because without them, it wouldn't be us. And so I'm really happy that we're all able to work together. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Edwards. Ms. Edwards, you are the next person on the list.
We've experienced, can you guys hear me?
We can.
We've experienced the 11 pages of car break-ins, thefts, larceny, window smash, carjackings in one beat, which I gave to you. The copy we presented, beat 623, which is my beat. This occurs at night during the wee hours of the morning. We've gotten CPD special attention to help with this problem, which they can't always continue. We've also noticed an uptick in porch piracy, which we think is happening simultaneously with the car break-ins. We've sent videos to the SDSC rooms in the districts afterwards to inform them of the issues. Unfortunately, it's difficult to report these problems to CPD individually because 311 doesn't take these calls, and the police non-emergency number that 311 refers us to doesn't answer the calls. We're asking that CPD update their webpage to allow info for reporting incidents on the front page instead of the last page, and or allow 311 to take the info and forward it to the non-emergency 911 number. Excuse me. We can't expect CPD to provide specific attention on a permanent basis because of the lack of manpower in the districts. We are asking citizens to take an active role in assisting with reporting these incidents with the assistance of the changes of our changes of our request. We need to know our officers. Lastly, we want to thank Commander Branch, Lieutenant Cleggett, our new Captain Jackson, and Lieutenant Riga, all from 3 who have jumped right into and helped us. 3 and 6 are working together very much. So thank you. And Commander Tate, who was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Edwards. The next speaker is Ms. Patricia Puente. Okay. Johnny D. Adams, Sr. Gentlemen, as I've explained to Mr. McCoy and explained to you and the members of the public, there's no seating time. If you want to speak, you have 2 minutes to do it. If not, I'm unfortunately going to have to ask you to sit down, and or we're going to have to ask that you leave the meeting.
Thank you for this time. I just want to bring awareness to my granddaughter who was killed, who was murdered about 4 years ago. Her name is Jocelyn D. Adams. She was killed at the McDonald's on Kizzy and Roosevelt about 4. I know you guys probably remember that. I just want to say that if we continue to show the communities and give the communities what they need, the help that they need, the resources that they need, we can save our young people in the same process. And even though many people have families or parents that's not into the children's lives like they need to be, that's not an excuse for us to back up on the things that we need to do for our community. So I just want to continue to bring awareness to my granddaughter to let you guys know that, yes, it is a process. And I appreciate each and every one who was on the CPD, who helped get the situation under control, to get the people accountable. We want to continue to thank you, the Adams family, really thank you guys for helping us in this process. And I'm here just to continue to carry her name on and not let it die in vain, because we have lost too many young people in our lives, and it's unnecessary, it's uncalled for senseless murders, senseless killings. That's for any and everyone. So I just want to thank you guys, and I want to continue to bring awareness to the young people all across the city of Chicago that have lost their lives, parents who have lost children, mothers who have lost children, fathers who have lost children. I want to continue to press on and press forward. Let's keep this thing going and save our young people.
Thank you, Mr. Adams.
May I ask you something, sir?
You may.
How can you give us 2 minutes and you take 5 or 10 to put us to sleep? You can't hold the crowd hostage, bro.
I'm sorry that I'm putting you to sleep, but I'm just trying to enforce the rules so that everybody has a chance to speak. The next person who signed up is Mr. Keith McDonald.
Hello. How's everybody this evening?
Good.
Again, my name is Keith McDonald. Thank you for the opportunity. It has come to my attention over maybe 15 years or so of some occurrences that happened that aren't good occurrences. From 1996, when it was on The Tonight Show, making a reference to December of 95, I think it was. And those things that have happened since then are just bad, You can have 12-syllable words for it, but it's just bad. And I'm here to help bring some resolution to it or bring some clarity to it, to help bring it to the attention of those who can make a difference and those who just need to be aware of how things have happened around them, whether they know, some of them may not know about what has happened and what it means when someone you feel comfortable with, because you would think that they're there to help you in your day-to-day living, only to find out that they've done something very bad to those on their team who are there to help you feel safe in your neighborhood. And so that's why I'm here. I'm here to support Mr. T.C. McCoy. I'm also here to bring clarity to the incidents and those occurrences that have happened that he has talked about. And he's been on this campaign actually since day one. I met him about 15 years ago, since day one. And I'm in media. He's done other things, other presentations and interviews, and it's been nonstop, the same thing, year after year, presentation after presentation, has evidence to show proof, and I haven't been witness to anybody who are in some authoritative capacity to say anything back to him, to say he's wrong. And now, so I don't know what to do. If those in authority know about it, and yet they say he's not wrong, that means he's right. And if he's right, nothing's been done about it. I feel concerned about my safety, your safety too. Thank you very much. Happy holidays to everybody, and be good.
Thank you, Mr. McDonald. The next speaker who signed up to speak is a Stephen Willis. Okay, there's Stephen Willis. Is there a Leonard? Trying to read the last name there. Is there a Leonard here?
Leonard Perry.
Yeah, Leonard Perry.
Step up, man. Step up, man. Oh. Wow. They in the penitentiary on the line. No, forget that. Talk about that lady that her son got killed. No, forget that. Don't say that. Don't talk about that.
Okay, well, I'm going to
Well,
refer
don't
my
talk
time.
about that.
Okay.
Talk about all the years you were in Vietnam and caught Agent Orange, and you came back to serve your community. And he told me I got 2 minutes to talk. Just talk. Well, talk about the guys that's in the penitentiary right now that shouldn't be in it. Well, forget it. You just wasted your 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Next person.
Okay. The next person who signed up to speak is it a Ray Leff Sr.? Okay.
How you doing?
Good,
My
how are
name is
you?
Ray Legg.
I'm
Red
here
leg.
in support of T.C. McCoy, but I want to know, I need him to explain some of these pictures to me, McCoy. Explain, who is this?
That's Herb Brown Jr., who was not supposed to be on this investigation. It looked like that man to your right that gave the murderer this hat. That man, Officer Jackson, is on our head. And if a policeman or a person get out of a police car and he approach you with this hat on, what do you think he is?
A police.
Okay, then, you just had your 2 minutes. Thank you very much.
All right. The next speaker who's signed up is Mr. Robert. I can't read the last. Starts with a T. Is there a Robert? Oh, there you go. Yeah, good to see you again.
First of all, I want to thank God and give him praise for this gift of life. Is it on?
It is. We can hear you.
On October 7th, Paul Williams and David Swick were assassinated by Mehdi Medellel, a Moroccan national. He's an illegal alien. They were both shot in the head in rapid succession. The murderer was the cashier or the manager of the J.J. Fish at 79th and Western. The crime occurred inside the J.J. Fish, and this establishment is within 50 feet of St. Rita High School campus. So this crime that occurred by the manager, an illegal shoots 2 American citizens in the head in rapid succession within 50 feet of a high school, and there was no summary closure issued. I looked up 20 other summary closures over the city, all over the city. And I found none of, okay, hold on. There was no summary, okay. I found I have shootings, all the shootings occurred at the summary, all the others that were closed, all the shootings were outside the establishment. None of them were inside the establishment, and none of them were killed by the manager killing of his patrons, and none of them were in 50 feet of a high school. But they all got summary closures, but in this case, there was no summary closure. So that, to me, is discrimination against the homeless and disabled. The man that attacked me on November 14th, he finally got arrested on December 3rd. When he showed up for his civil case at the Daily Center, I had to tell the bailiff he got a warrant out because he missed his criminal case. So he got him put in custody on December 3rd. That's 13 months after I was attacked. He finally was arrested with no help from the police department at all. I had to do it all myself. And when I get him to the criminal case, my video, my evidence shows I was attacked several times. In the process, my cell phone was taken away from me. All the charges they got him were theft of the cell phone. They forgot to mention the fact that I'm disabled and I was attacked by this man.
Thank you, sir.
I got an appeal letter.
And I'm sure I'll talk to you after, but we're really enforcing the 2 minutes. Okay, thank you. Janet Martin Fox is the next person who signed up to speak.
Good evening, everyone. Happy holidays.
Good evening.
My name is Janet Martin Fox. I'm the Director of Senior Services for CAL, Communities Organized to Win. We, Communities Organized to Win, like to speak on the negative reports about CPD disciplining officers. We are volunteer members of the CPD, TCAC committees, which meets monthly regarding training of officers, both new and existing. This committee includes community members and high-level police officers. We recently attended an in-person meeting and participated in a virtual example how some of the corrective retraining is conducted. We invite community members and the press to visit the training academy and take part of these training experiences. We would like also to thank our 6th District Commander Tate, who is leaving us because of promotion. He has been fantastic and will be greatly missed. We will welcome our new commander, Andre Polson. We believe it's important to know our officers, all ranks in the district, and to help establish safer community. We all need to work together. There's no way we can do this without working together. And I thank you, and again, happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Thank you, Ms. Fox. The next individual who's, thank you. The next individual who signed up is Mr. Lawrence Cleary? Crowley? Okay. On that note, I'll call Pastor Doyle up.
Good evening. For the record, I trust you understand the direction I'm about to go. So, mental health. This Christmas is better for me than last Christmas, when it was the first Christmas without my mother. So, Saturdays at the Landry's was the only time we could watch television. And as a child born literally in 1970, ingrained direct race conversations, all in the family. So since Sunday, I've been speaking as much as possible about how sometimes when we don't get it right, there's a difference between being born of wealth and going through rehab at least 17 times, having a film done about your addiction struggles, and still deciding, because of an argument, your parents don't matter. That Nick is no saint. So if individuals in this room would ride either the red line or blue line at night and see the same exact struggles but presented differently. Black, angry, unemployed, young, and ask yourself on the blue or the red line, could the same exact anger end a whole lot of lives in a short amount of time? So as a journalist, my colleague Laura Washington tried to touch upon it, if I can get literally 10 more seconds, in her column yesterday about chance. We're taking the wrong chance, and the Reiners should be here. Something for us to do.
Thank you, Pastor Doyle. Calling Robert Rogers.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sorry, yeah. Floyd.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I want to thank you for listening to us today, but I'm here because this gentleman invited me. I still do live where he worked every day. This gentleman right here also worked. I was a businessman, and still is, on the west side of Chicago. Didn't know nobody, but I found a friend in this man. And he brought this man to help me understand and protect me from what was going on the west side of Chicago. A businessman trying to operate an honest business. Drug dealers in my neighborhood wanted to set up shop. It was one of my business. My godmother sent me to see him, this man. And that man brought this man. And I've developed a kinship and felt safe in the area where I was operating and also lived. I don't have a whole lot to say about the community at this point, except this guy right here made it possible for me to operate my business and feel safely. So, whenever he calls me and asks me to come see him, I come and I show up. And it's been over 30 years, and we still have a friendship. I could still call him and ask him, can you please help? When the uniform officer takes about 2 hours, sometimes they don't even show up at all. This man shows up. Thank you for
Thank you. Has anybody else who signed up and not spoken with Mr. McCoy wants to speak?
I signed up, but I didn't speak.
Okay.
But I didn't know it was just 2 minutes I couldn't give to nobody. But anyway, this young lady, my name is Alan Hood. I'm retired fireman, 14 years. Mr. McCoy and I graduated from college together, and we were started at Malcolm X College. It was Crane Junior College in '68. And he and I were together, but we changed it from Crane Junior College to Malcolm X College. I had a business at the time inside the college when I graduated, May 11, 1971. And I went off to college later. This young lady here that he told me about, he knew I came out of Crane High School. I graduated with her. Not only did she came to Malcolm X College, then she went off to the university like I did. You know, so I was concerned about her son. And when Mr. McCoy called me and asked me about it, I started with CTA in '86, of June the 9th, and I started with Chicago Police in January '87, and then I started August the 3rd with the Chicago Fire Department. Now at Malcolm X College, I was the president of the alumni for 30 years. Now I'm the ambassador for Malcolm X College for the last 5 years. And I'm concerned with the community. I was born 3635 Giles, right across the street, when this wasn't here, 92949. So this is my community. I know everything in this area. Plus I drove the CTA bus, and I drove the ambulance, and I drove the fire truck. So I'm completely concerned. And then I have sons, 54, August the 20th from DePaul, 52, master degree from Columbia College, 50, Lewis University in Joliet. The girls are 57, February the 3rd, no children. May the 7th, 1976, no children. Girl in 1990, graduated from Valparaiso 13 years ago with a 7-year-old. So I'm a grandson, November the 18th, made 32 from Howard University. The other one is June the 17th, 26 from UIC. The other grandson is, I got 30 seconds left, okay? And anyway, my concern was I was here for the support, but I never knew that with all the stuff I did, and I've been in my house 50 years, able to turn night, and my building 30 years, and my double lot 20 years, all in the city of Chicago. And I'm not a transplant. I was born here. I didn't come from no place else. I know this town, and I know its people. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Go ahead, Mr. Martin.
Mr. TC, I live in the West Side. He's a very, very good friend, and I just want him to be heard as well. Can you tell me a little bit more about this picture?
Yeah, I just want to tell you about that Spanish officer that's in jail. You're Spanish, aren't you?
Correct.
The one that's in jail that lost his family, the one that's in jail for 49 years.
That's right.
The one in jail that called the other night that we tried to get in touch with him for 30 years and told me to come and get him. that what you want to say to them?
Yes, sir.
Go for it, Mr. Martin. It's your time.
He says it better. You guys are here to listen to him as well.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's 2 minutes. One more.
Go for it, sir.
Right here looks like me, and he carries my last name.
Yeah, I'm
He's
here.
been county sheriff for 30 years.
Okay.
That's my brother.
Yeah, I'm Maurice McCoy, and I'm here. My picture that this person tried to persecute my brother looked like him, and I think me and him look alike. If you look at it.
We McCoy.
I could see it.
We the real deal. There's nothing fake about us. So you try to persecute my whole family. My whole family was from my uncle to us on down to my cousins, all in law enforcement. You know, it's ridiculous.
But hold it, can I say one thing for you? Because I'm your older brother, right? 'Cause I
Right.
am, right? Would you tell them that ain't nobody to play with?
Look here, we had strict father, didn't take no mess.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Mr. McCoy. All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Everybody with us, that's right.
And on that note, all the members of the public, and thank you, Mr. McCoy, and the people who came, have signed up to speak. Is there a motion to adjourn the December meeting of the police board?
Yes, so moved. I second.
All in favor? Aye. The motion passes. The meeting is adjourned. Happy holidays, everyone.